Light out of Cisco Sportfishing in Oxnard took a novice group of anglers out to see if the bluefin tuna had moved closer to the Channel Islands, and man, did they score. They hooked 7, got 6, 170-pounder, and the rest between 110 and 180 pounds. Quite a feat for novice anglers, and the Gray Light has done it again. They have put up a series of offshore trips as the bluefin have surged up close to the Channel Islands. Great fishing today on the Gray Light out of Cisco Sportfishing in Oxnard, California. Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. This lovely Tuesday morning as we're wrapping up July here. I can't believe how fast this year is going by. It feels like the Sea of Cortez here this morning. It's sunny, it's warm, the ocean's flat, calm behind me. There's been birds hitting the surf. It's a gorgeous morning, and I hope you're having a great start to your Tuesday morning. Man, do we have a lot to talk about. Epic. And I mean epic bluefin tuna fishing with most of the fish up over 100 pounds on several of these trips. We're going to delve into that. Ensenada keeps cranking out a variety of different species, including great yellowtail action and some offshore stuff going on. Also, Channel Islands, bluefin tuna. The Gray Light made it happen yesterday. That opens the door to many more exciting trips up in that neck of the woods. And some great wide open sandbass fishing and so much more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. I needed that. What a day here with Friedman Adventures yesterday. I think we had 4 or 5 live shows. We had a remote show with Jolene Thompson. You're going to love that. She talked about an all-girls trip on board the Producer. They're all archived, by the way. You can go back and watch them all. And then we hooked up with Daniel Hadaway on the Island Spirit up there in Ventura Sportfishing. He had a 30-pound yellowtail. That was great stuff. Danny Cadota show live from 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro yesterday. We finished off at Island Fishing Tackle in Carson with Sam De La Torre and Tackle Shop Confessions. Man, what a day it was. It was exciting. And go back and check all those out. I think you're going to enjoy it. Can't thank you enough for hitting that like button. That means the world to me. It really helps us so very, very much. Share these videos with a friend. Spread the Friedman Adventures word out there. That also helps us a great deal. Subscribe to the channel and tick the bell. You'll be notified when there is new content. And also, don't forget, we're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can check us out in all of those different social media venues, and we really appreciate it. Wow, there is some tremendous stuff going on. Let's take you south of the border and start out there in Ensenada, where fishing is really, really great. The local yellowtail bite, fantastic. You don't have to go very far. Most of the boats run about 15 minutes at most, and they are now looking for bird schools of yellowtail. And in most cases, they find them. It can be susceptible to boat pressure. The bird schools, that is. Too many boats, and it kind of shoves it all down. So my advice is to fish weekdays, not only in Ensenada, but everywhere for that matter. But the weekdays are a little bit better. And those birds, man, they show the way to some outstanding yellowtail action. Surface iron with like 40-pound test, a nice cast right in the middle of those frothy yellowtail, and there's just nothing like it. You've got that as one option available to you down there in beautiful Ensenada, Baja California, which, if you don't know the geography, everybody, driving from the United States, right there at the border, about a 70-mile drive south. Gorgeous drive, pristine Baja coast that you'll get to see. Drive right by the Coronado Islands, get to look out there and see the islands, and then travel south for another 60 miles or so, and you'll be in beautiful Ensenada. Also, down there in Ensenada, there's good sand and calico bass fishing, barracuda flurries, and rockfish. Offshore, there is still a great possibility of some excellent kelp patty yellowtail fishing, and there's still some really good bluefin tuna fishing, waiting for more yellowfin to join the party. That is a warm water species like the Dorado. And we're seeing a few more Dorado, and there's been the occasional catch of a yellowfin or two, but we're waiting for more. And I think as we push deeper into summer and ultimately into fall, that is all going to come together. It should be a great finish to the year down there in Ensenada. I can't believe we're talking about finish to the year this early, but we're knocking on August right now. Things are really going well down there south of the border. So happy for everybody down there. Let's talk long range, and let's talk about Tackle Express being on the Intrepid. They had an absolutely wonderful trip, and I'll tell you, they ended up with great yellowfin tuna fishing, 40 to 70 pound yellowfin tuna wide open. The yellowtail bite, phenomenal, with most of the fish in the 18 to 35 pound class. But one fish, a yellowtail, 63 pounds, goes to Dave Copley. Nice hit there, Dave. And the wahoo seemed to be much bigger on this trip. One standout, 73 pounders for Jim Felder, but they had a whole bunch of other really nice hoos. So excellent fishing on the 8-day scene. The guys that have been going down there have been having phenomenal fishing, no doubt about that. I think Tackle Express was actually on the Independence. My notes are a little vague, so excuse me if I've got that wrong. But the Independence had, and we're moving into our bluefin tuna bite now, which is accessible for landings from San Diego to the Channel Islands now. That is magnificent. The Independence had a 5-hour epic drift on big bluefin tuna yesterday. It was absolutely nonstop action for 5 straight hours. Fly line fish, kite fish, magnificent bite with most of the fish up over the 100-pound mark. It can't be beat. How about Michelle Thompson with her personal best bluefin tuna? Michelle, nice going. Congratulations. And Lisa Paul finally got her triple-digit bluefin tuna. Lisa's out on a lot of trips and works hard at it all the time. Congratulations, Lisa. What an epic trip they had on board the Independence. It was fantastic. Polaris Supreme had 108 bluefin tuna to 180 pounds. And how about the Pegasus? What a trip. Matthew Thompson was on that trip, and he said, Phil, it was beyond epic. It was as good as you could possibly want it. They had 3-day trip, limits of bluefin tuna, as wide open as you could possibly want it. 51 of those bluefin tuna in the 120 to 200 pound class. It can't get any better. This is a dream come true. The envy of sport fishing right here in Southern California. Wow, tremendous fishing. And as that weather came down and that moon phase got right, and we were talking about that a lot, it really came together. Incidentally, Matthew said, Phil, you got to give kudos to Captain Alec on the Pegasus for putting us on the meat. Captain Sean Hardigan and the rest of the Pegasus crew, they did a magnificent job. Matthew, so happy you had such a great trip. It looked like it was one to remember. Fortune, 16 anglers, 2.5-day trip, 64 bluefin to 200 pounds. Royal Polaris last night, wide open bite on the big fish. It is as good as you could possibly want it right now, and it's not slowing down at all. As this wind and weather kind of moderate, we've had a lot of nasty weather offshore in that bluefin tuna area, but it's starting to moderate quite a bit. 350-gram jigs have been working really well. Some of those nights you needed a 500-gram jig because of wind and current, and 200-pound leaders are absolutely essential with 100-pound spectra. 100 gives you plenty of pulling power, and it sinks faster, so that is the spectra you want to use in lieu of 130-pound. We like 100 pounds. So really great fishing on the bluefin tuna zone right now. I don't know how it can get any better than it is. And as I mentioned, boats all the way up to the Channel Islands, it's accessible right now. You saw the gray light as we came into today's segment. They had 6 out of 7 yesterday. They had a 180-pounder. I think they had 170-pounder, and the rest were between 100 and 180 pounds. The gray light out of Cisco Sportfishing in Oxnard. And as I say, that opens another door up there now. That bluefin is pushed close enough to the Channel Islands where even overnight guys could get a piece of that. And it's not only nighttime, it's daytime. Also, as we mentioned, the Independence with kite fishing and fly line fishing in the daytime. You've got it at day, you've got it at night. It can't get much better than it is right now. Absolutely phenomenal bluefin tuna fishing. If you have tax problems, unfiled taxes, or anything else, call Tim Marquez right now. Tim's a great guy and a Friedman Adventures family member. And for heating and or air conditioning needs, John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning is at your service right now. It can't get any better than it is. I can't believe how great this bluefin bite is, and I think it's going to surge ahead, and it should push right on into November this year. I'm getting ahead of myself, I know, but we'll see how this all develops. Incidentally, some guys were telling me, unconfirmed at this point, that there was boiling bluefin tuna right off the Huntington Beach Pier yesterday. So if that is indeed true, there's bluefin just about everywhere we look. It is phenomenal. All right, kelp patty yellowtail fishing, both out of Ensenada and San Diego. You got to find that right kelp patty. That's what it's all about. You can hit 8 kelps in a day and come up empty, or you can hit that first kelp and it's loaded and they want to bite, and you get well in a hurry and catch your limits of 8 to 20 pound yellowtail, mostly on 25 to 40 pound fluorocarbon, depending on the intensity of the bite, how heavy a line you will throw at them. So gauge that, be observant, and choose a good hot bait, and you'll be in there. Some days are very, very poor offshore, and some days are very, very good. And there are bluefin tuna mixed up with it. How about this scene right here? A submarine with frothing bluefin tuna in the foreground. That is something else. Wow, check that out. And some of that is going on down near those kelp patties also, so keep that in mind. There are bluefin and there are yellowtail in the kelps and a few Dorado. Now, most of that fish is not the big grade fish. In most cases, you're going to be okay with 25 to 40 pound fluorocarbon on those trips, but if you have some heavier tackle, I highly advise you to bring it. It's not going to do you any good sitting at home. Bring it along with you. And in case you get into some really big fish, you'll be prepared. Grande 6 yellowtail offshore. Other guys had decent fishing. Other guys missed. It's the nature of fishing kelp patties. You've got to find that right one. We're going to move over to islands now. And the Coronado Islands are continuing to bite. The boat pressure has been the major drawback there. There are so many boats at the Coronado Islands because the bite is as good as it's been for decades at the island. I want to say 7 to 20 pound yellowtail, 8 to 20 pound yellowtail. Some of the private boaters I talked to had phenomenal wide open, easy fishing yesterday. And sport boats still doing really, really well. Mission Bell, 67 yellowtail over there. That's a great hit, no question about it. The San Diego, 63 yellowtail at the Coronado Islands. The Liberty, 22 on the yellowtail. Taking a look at the deck of the Point Loma where Richard Keogh was the other day. You can see there's some nice forkies and they're biting bait full speed, 20 to 25 pound fluoro. You drop down to 20, you're going to get a lot more bites, and if you know what you're doing, you can catch those yellowtail with ease on that. But a lot of guys want you to fish at least 25 pound, and it's a good idea. And some days when it's wide open, you can go to the 40 pound and really put the screws to them. Really great fishing there. There's also some bass and barracuda over there at the Coronado Islands, but everybody like a laser is focused in on that yellowtail. And man, I'll tell you, it's been an incredible season for forkies there at the Coronado Islands. Don't forget, you can knock 10% off anything at Pro Marahi when you go to their website and put in FA at checkout. Make sure you do that today, and you'll save an additional 10%. And also, don't forget, they have new fluorocarbon out there, GT4 fluorocarbon. It's more fluoro for less money, and now a 10% discount on top of that. You can't beat a Thunderbird out there at San Clemente Island. Good yellowtail fishing yesterday. It's been tough out there here recently because this weather has been windy and rough, but the winds are subsiding slowly but surely. Much better weather day, and some of the boys are out there catching yellows as we speak here this morning. Yesterday, a much better day on the yellowtail. There's been some white sea bass. There's excellent calico bass fishing. Pretty darn good fishing at San Clemente Island. Catalina Island, picking at the yellowtail, a few bass. Some days are better than others, and of course, the weekdays are going to be much better to you because that weekend boat pressure at Cat can get quite substantial. The El Patron had a yellowtail, 15 barracuda, 20 calicos, 5 bonita yesterday on board the Pursuit. They had a couple yellowtail out of 22nd Street Landing, 61 calico bass, 17 barracuda, a little scratchy, not wide open by any stretch of the imagination. Gorgeous weather, and I'm thinking that yellowtail bite has got to accelerate there at Cat. I mean, we've got it at the Coronado Islands. We've got it south off Ensenada at Todos Santos. We've got it at San Clemente Island. Come on, Cat. Let's get with the program and start to bite a little bit better. Definitely want to bring some lighter line, like some 20-pound fluorocarbon, but I wouldn't leave my 40 at home while fishing Catalina Island. That is for sure. And don't forget, if you want to go on an ultra limited load, beautiful trip on the El Patron out of Long Beach sport fishing, well, here at Friedman Adventures, we highly recommend you do that. I fished the El Patron many times. Love the service, love the crew, love the fishing. There's nothing that you're not going to enjoy on the El Patron. www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron and have a really great time. So really good stuff going on. Channel Island area. Well, the big news is that bluefin tuna offshore. We'll see if we can get more of that going on. We'll be watching that. But as the winds come down, look for another white sea bass explosion up there. I'm hoping it's going to be on Eddie Berrigan's trip on board the Endeavor. They're supposed to leave August the 1st and fish through the 3rd. Our dear friend Doug Tikt is on that trip. Doug, good morning to you. I'm wishing you the best of luck. It sounds like to me now you got white sea bass in your sights. You also have the possibility of bluefin tuna in your sights. And of course, the omnipresent rockfish bite up there has been tremendous. Great rock fishing up there in that neck of the woods for all of the boats. Some guys get in on some pretty good calico bass fishing, barracuda fishing. There's been pretty good. And then you fall back on the rock fishing. Daniel Hadaway in that live remote update we did yesterday with a 30-pound yellowtail for a novice angler the other day. That's pretty good shooting if you ask me. The Island Spirit runs out of Ventura sport fishing, and they do it right. From customer service to great fishing and scenic views of Anacapa, Santa Cruz, and the beautiful Baja Coast, Channel Islands coast. You're not going to be able to beat it. Up there out of Ventura Sport Fishing, give them a call and get on board the Island Spirit, 805-676-3474, or visit venturasportfishing.com. Plenty of room on tomorrow's trip on board the Island Spirit. Don't miss it. Some really good stuff going on. All right, let's talk this local bite. San Diego, their local fishing is off the hook on the sandbass. It arrived late, but it's full speed wide open for the local boats down there out of San Diego right now. Great time to take a kid fishing, a novice angler fishing, or even if you're an old veteran like me, fun sandbass fishing going on, biting the plastics, biting small little dart type jigs, and of course biting full speed on a dropper loop with a good hot, really if you can get your hands on a chovy, that's best, but sardines also. Great fishing going on sandbass down there, a little bit of calico bass, and still the occasional yellowtail, white sea bass up there around Dana. Good bass fishing, a lot of shorts, but really good along the Kelp there. And we move up here to the LA Orange County area. Some sandbass, not wide open, but we saw some pretty decent sandbass fishing on the Victory. They had some decent sandbass fishing. Other guys picking at some calico bass, but really it acts more like it's wintertime when you look at some of the scores here in the LA Orange County area and up into Marina del Rey and Redondo. A lot of sculpin, whitefish, rockfish, that kind of a thing. So absolutely trying hard to get a bass bite going for you, but a lot of guys falling back on that other stuff. We kind of covered the Channel Islands already for you. We got you all caught up on that. San Francisco Bay, tremendous halibut fishing. Anybody going up to the Golden Gate region, you're going to find yourself in the middle of another great halibut year. It has been absolutely fantastic, and it is continuing with big scores coming out of there yesterday. Again, really, really good. In the surf, don't forget about Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, right down there on the corner of Seal Beach and Pacific Coast Highway. They've got all your bait needs and tackle needs, and they've got a monthly giveaway. They're going to give away a beautiful custom surf fishing rod. Gorgeous, absolutely beautiful if you catch the biggest fish. This month, it's the biggest spot fin croaker. All you do is you go into Big Fish Bait and Tackle, buy the ruler that they have for you, and then you'll use that ruler to take a photograph and upload to their Instagram page. They'll give you all the details down there. It's not just a one-time deal, and there's no cost after you buy the ruler. It's every single month, that brand new custom rod. Really good yellowfin croaker fishing going on down there around Huntington Beach with a few bar perch and good corvina. Good yellowfin croaker here. We saw a lot of bait on the beach yesterday. I see a little bit today, not as much, but absolutely gorgeous. I think Dan Lightfoot, Michael Limon, and John Limon, and their mom, Barbara, are going to come down here and fish tomorrow. And so that should be good. James Blanchford might be coming down also. James, I'll see you in the morning, doing the morning briefing tomorrow, bright and early. And then up in the Santa Monica Bay, Sam De La Torre from Island Fishing Tackle says they've been catching some corvina and good yellowfin croaker fishing up there in the Santa Monica Bay, down by a beach called Rats Beach, Torrance Beach. It's been pretty good down there in that area. Can't beat that. So some good surf fishing going on also. What a gorgeous morning. How blessed are we here in Southern California? We got to realize that every single day. Man, if you have gratitude in your heart, it's hard to be miserable. And I've got a lot of gratitude for all that you do for Friedman Adventures, from the likes to the shares to the Patreon members. It means a lot to me. Thanks, everybody. Have a great and beautiful Tuesday, and I hope to see you really, really soon. Don't forget, check out all those live shows. You're going to love them.